Hey, what's up guys? So in this video, I want to go over some upgrades that I'm about to get done here to my car. Now, about 2.5 years ago, I went down to Music Car Northwest down in Portland. They're an amazing installer and they did a fantastic job actually custom installing a bunch of equipment here in my car, different radar detectors and laser jammers and dash cams and battery packs and extension cables, and basically making it an awesome way for me to test and compare a bunch of different equipment. Now that was 2.5 years ago now, and since then there's been some upgrades to some of these equipment, and so I've actually got a bunch of equipment now that I want to go ahead and get installed into my car. And so for that reason, I've been looking for an installer maybe a little bit closer to home, and so I'm going to be heading over to Systems Unlimited over in Bellevue later this week, and they're going to be helping me, well, get all this new stuff installed. And so in this video, before we get to the install, I want to quickly run over some of the new equipment and some of the changes that I'm going to be going through here. All right, so starting off with dash cams is my main dash cam. I've been running the Blackview DR900S 2-channel ever since it first came out. Since then, there's been some upgrades to it. There's the DR900X and the DR900X Plus. So I'm going to be upgrading my dash cams here, both front and rear and to the side. If you take a look, actually, for my rear dash cam right there, that's the DR750S, and so I'm going to upgrade that to a 4K dash cam. And then their rear dash cams, I've got one right here, kind of set up as a side-facing dash cam, and I've got another one over there on that side as well. And then the reason I haven't been able to install these new dash cams yet is they require new power cables for both the front and the rear, and so I'm going to be having the installers actually swap out the power cables for me, and then I'll just be able to swap in kind of the newer upgraded 4K dash cams. I'm also going to be installing the CM100 LTE to get my dash cams hooked up to the cloud. I have in-car Wi-Fi right now, but it's been a little bit flaky, and so I'm going to use one of these just to upgrade the in-car Wi-Fi. And that's basically going to connect from the dash cam, run across the headliner, down the A-pillar, and kind of tuck into a little side panel back there. Now, I've got a hardwire cable run up here for my different radar detectors, which makes it super convenient to just plug in and boom, there you go. I've been using it for a while, and unfortunately the locking tab, as you can see, it's broken off right here. So it no longer clicks and locks into place, and so if my radar detector or my suction cup fails and falls off the windshield, there's no longer anything to catch it. So I want to get that locking mechanism back. So we'll just cut this and just recrimp a new connector on. Additionally, I'd like to run a USB Type-C hardwire cable for Rodenso DS1 or maybe Theo when it comes out. And something I was actually thinking of this morning, I was thinking of actually getting something similar to the mirror tap, which I have right here for different radar detectors to plug in if I've got it mounted on the blend mount. I could do something similar with having the USB Type-C cable running out of here and plugging into the GoPro, which is probably what I'm going to use most of the time. I use this all the time for recording radar detectors for reviews and testing and that kind of stuff. So this is super common instead of having to actually go to this thing, which I'll talk about here in just a second. So no cable running up here. I'll just hardwire it, be a lot cleaner. And then I'll also have the option of, instead of running down to the GoPro, I could also run up to any USB Type-C radar detector. So that could be a pretty cool option as well. Now this thing, it's a USB brick that I've got installed. So I can run, I can power my GoPros here. If I've got any dash cams installed here for testing, if I've got phones installed, whatever it is, it just makes it super convenient to have, well, a bunch of USB ports to plug in. I've got currently a cigarette lighter plug that runs down here and a splitter you can see down there for different detectors and whatever else. So I want to get this thing hardwired. I want to avoid this cable that's running down. I'll probably just get this cable tucked into there somewhere and hardwired as well, so it keeps this port free for whatever I need, and this is going to be hardwired as well. So basically hardwire some of the extra accessories I got installed. Now, as far as my phone mount, I've been using this Apple Mag mount right here that I kind of just put together with different parts online, and I can attach my phone right here. It makes it super quick and convenient. It's got wireless CarPlay that I put in now, so I really like this Mag mount for iPhone usage. Now, to get it installed, I did kind of a DIY thing, which has been okay, but honestly not that great. So I've got it tapped in here using some T-taps to these different fuses. These are always hot, unfortunately. There are none of these that are switched, so I want to get some sort of switched outlet and something that's also more reliable. This sometimes pops out, hence the zip ties to try to keep it into place. And same thing here with the USB Type-C adapter that it's actually plugged into here. So phone mount up there, plugs in here to this kind of dual USB-C charger, so I can plug in different things. So you can see a zip tie here. Also not super stable, so I just want to improve the reliability, connectivity, expansion, all that kind of stuff. Now, something else, I've been using this pocket here. It used to be for my TMGs. I've since taken it out, which I'll explain in just a second. And I've actually been running my TrueSpeed S here. So this has been an awesome little pocket just to keep a laser gun with me. So I really like this pocket and I'm gonna continue using it. Inside, I've got the power cables for my TMG. My TMG actually died on me, so I'm gonna be swapping that out too. Let's take a look at that next. And so unfortunately, a little while ago, my TMGs basically committed seppuku and just committed suicide, and they just died on me. They've been toast. And so I haven't been able to use them for anything, for any videos, any testing, nothing. Now, fortunately, Jag42 has been super helpful with sending out a replacement one. So I've got an upgraded TMG CPU, which now has the VPR support. So when I do future testing, whenever that's going to be, and I'll explain more about that toward the end of the video, I'm now going to be getting the newer heads. So these are the Gen 2s, not the Gen 3s, but I've got the new Gen 2 heads, plus I've got a VPR head as well, which we're going to install up front. Let's go ahead and go up there real quick. So at the front of the car, for some of the heads, I've got these magnetic covers like this. So you can see I've got ALP, Escort, and TMG. So I'm going to basically be popping out the old TMGs, putting in the new ones, put this one into place. And then for these center heads, just pull this off here. So as you can see, we've got a couple heads here. So ALP regular, ALP TX, Escort, and TMG. So I'm gonna be swapping this out for VPR. I also wanna upgrade these to the new TX black heads. I've picked up a pair of these. So one's gonna go in the front, the other one's gonna go in the back, and they're just gonna upgrade the ALP, which is the main jammer that I run. Everything else here is just for kind of testing and comparison. The ALP is the one that I rely on. Now for my original TMG install, my installers actually put these 3 little magnets into the CPU kind of on the bottom so that I could just magnetically attach it, boom, right into place like that, which is pretty cool. And so I want to have the magnets kind of reinstalled in the CPU because that was pretty nice. Again, I'm not going to run it full time, but just when I do put it in for testing, that makes it a little bit more convenient. Now in the back of the car here, this is where I've got some of my Dashcam battery packs installed. I've got things like my CPUs for my different radar detectors. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rear of the vehicle next. So starting off over here on the left side of the vehicle, I've got 3 different battery packs. So your Blackview and Cell-Link battery packs, which I use to power my 4 dash cams here in my car. I've also got my Wi-Fi hotspot right there, kind of this T-Mobile OBD2 dongle. You can see it's turned on even when I'm parked. And I've got kind of a splitter in there for just future expansion type stuff, which has been really nice. USB ports, cigarette lighters, that kind of stuff. So it just makes it easy to plug in additional devices. Now I want to do some upgrades here and add some additional battery packs. And for that, I've got the Black Box My Car BI750 battery pack and the expansion BE750. I was doing a bunch of testing and everything, kind of getting ready for the review. But these were actually discontinued before I had a chance to get my review done. And now I'm like, okay, well, I guess I got to put these things to good use. So I've got 2 extra battery packs, and so I figure I'll kind of maybe cut out some space here, a lot like we did over there, and I can install 2 more battery packs. And these I think would be kind of my primary battery packs for maybe my front and one of the side dash cams, and then I'll use maybe 2 other ones for the rear and other side dash cam, and then I'll have kind of a 3rd battery pack. And for that, I'm going to be installing one of these, which is going to make it a lot easier for me to temporarily hardwire different dash cams in for testing. And so you can see we've got 3 connectors on both sides, one for always having power, kind of providing power from the battery pack. One is going to be for your ignition triggered power, kind of goes on and off with the car, and the 3rd is your ground. So install one into the battery pack. The other one connects to the dash cam, and the idea is you've got these little tabs here, which you can just kind of pop up like this. And so you just slide in your cable, clamp it down, and boom, really quick and easy way to get your hardwire done. Shout out to Wireless Andy on RDF for letting me know about these and posting about them. This is going to make it a lot easier for me to temporarily hardwire different dash cams. I usually run them like right up there on the windshield when I'm doing some different comparison testing. And speaking of stuff up here at the front of the car, I've also been wanting to get an upgrade for my Stinger system here. And if we go over here now to the front of the car, I've got the antenna installed here. We'll pop off this front panel real quick. There we go. Okay, so this is the antenna that I've got for the Stinger VIP. It's the HD antenna. This is now 2 generations old. There's now the HD Plus, and now there's also a new S8 antenna, which is supposed to be way better than this one. I've been waiting for a while now to get this one. They've just been having part shortage issues, and so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the S8 antenna in time to, well, get my Stinger system upgraded. I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't able to get it in because I would have to basically swap out a lot of the components. So I've got my Stinger brains right here, kind of the CPU, so I'd have to swap this out, rerun new cables, and as long as I'm doing a big kind of upgrade to the car, that would be the perfect time to upgrade all the hardware. But unfortunately, I can't get the upgraded hardware for this either, so I'm gonna have to stick to the old Stinger stuff, and yeah, I don't know, get that installed whenever I can. Now, I've been pushing back this install as much as I could while waiting for the Stinger stuff. I mean, I've got the Stinger fiber optic laser jammers, which are pretty cool. I wanted to have those installed for comparison testing instead of just doing my temporary install like I've done before. But I really wanted to get it wired in with the new Stinger system as well. Anyway, at this point, I really have to get it done. So we're going to be getting it done later this week. Kind of my time commitments. My son is about to be born. He's 35, almost 36 weeks now. We actually had a bit of a scare this weekend. On Friday, my wife started having contractions, and so we wound up having to go to the hospital. Luckily, she didn't fully go into labor or anything, so we were able to avoid him being born, which is good because, again, he was only 35 weeks, and 37 weeks is full term, so 35 weeks is still considered preemie. You have to be in the NICU and stuff, so we really wanted to avoid that, let him kind of get fully baked in mommy's belly, you know? So luckily, he stayed in there. We're still waiting, but I'm like, I got to get stuff done. So at this point, it's like head down, get my videos done, whatever last tests and reviews and comparisons and installs, like all this stuff has to get done, especially with at home. I mean, I'm doing a lot more at home because my wife is like, she's getting bigger. She can't really do as much. So like I'm taking on extra stuff there, which I'm of course totally happy to do. But at this point, it's like, I don't really know how much time I have left. And it looks like I've got a very small amount of it. So it's like, get all this stuff done. I'm glad this install is going to be a little bit closer to home too. So in case she goes into labor, knock on wood, while I'm down there, I can just grab an Uber and come back. I mean, got the car seats and stuff here in my car, but we're going to be able to do it in her car too if mine's ripped up, you know, during the install. But anyway, it's like, it's go time at this point to just get all this stuff done. And so I wanted to do this quick video, kind of going over some of the installs and the thought process and kind of what all we're going to do to the car to get things upgraded here. So just a quick video, I say that all the time, but I'm sure this is going to be decently long, a video kind of going over all the equipment and stuff. So once we get down to doing the install later this week, we can get straight to the install and I can show you what all they're going to be doing and kind of all their cool tips and tricks and stuff once they actually get to the install process itself. And so, yeah, that's just a run through here of some of the upgrades I'm going to be doing here to my car. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are all doing great, and I'll see you in the next video.